My next guests, they are on the phone, are educators turned entrepreneurs, are the epitome of the term power couple. This dynamic duo started a business together in the early 20s, and within 3 years grew it to $1 million business, and only 2 years later, a multi-million dollar business. They're owners of Holt and Holt Entrepreneurship. They are also owners of Holt Custom Homes. They are working real estate in the thriving city of Huntsville, Alabama. I've been to Huntsville, Alabama, so I'm not joking around when I use the term thriving city of Huntsville, Alabama. Please welcome to Money Making Conversation, because they are the stars of their own series, are featured on their own series, just in case somebody gets upset when I use the word stars. Love and Marriage, Huntsville. Please welcome to Money Making Conversation, Melody and Martell Holt.
Hello. Hi.
Hello there. Hello there.
Well, first
Yeah,
of all,
we'll take that. We'll take that. Stars of Love and Marriage Huntsville. We'll take it.
and you got to, because guess it's about branding and marketing. And guess what? When I read your bio, you guys truly understand, and you're not afraid to step out and go take your careers and opportunities down a different lane, and that's really important.
Thank you so much for that. We appreciate that, and thank you for having us on your show today.
Well, first of all, it's a thankful for me, because when you build a brand and you get out there, and it has to have some relevancy. And some people say you should do Rushion McDonald's show, Money Making Conversation show. Because when I started the platform 3 years ago, I had my celebrity friends call in, and I didn't even know why I was talking to them. Just they were calling in, and hey Rushion, and after hey Rushion, they went, okay, what are we going to talk about? So I had to develop a point of view. And my point of view is to bring talented individuals. You guys not only are, celebrities from a TV standpoint, but you're celebrities in the entrepreneurship world, and that's where I live. That's where I live, in entrepreneurship as well as entertainment. And so I wanted to bring you on the show, both of you, because it's a power couple. I love bringing power couples on the show, because it's really about communication. It's about because you bring your work home and you take your work away from home, and you have to learn when to stop working. And so I wanted to start off because I had Carlos King. He was on the show yesterday. He's the creator, executive producer.
Wow.
Yep, he was on the show.
Carlos King now. Come on now.
He was on the show yesterday, and I told him that I was going to be interviewing you guys. And he said, wow. He said, tell us how you guys created, how was the relationship that you guys have started out with Carlos King?
Well, it's so just very interesting and amazing, because we actually met Carlos King 5 years ago.
Right.
And when we sat down and met with him, it was for a consultation to pitch this show idea that we had that was really based off of us, our family, and our business and interest in this industry called the property preservation industry, which is a multi-billion-dollar industry, right?
Right.
So we met with him, pitched our show, showed him our treatment, and he loved the idea. He said, you guys look like you would be great on TV. But to be honest, the first thing he said was, what did he say, Martell?
He said, you guys want to be on Real Housewives of Atlanta.
and Martell was like, no, I want to keep my wife. And so at that time, yeah. And so at that time, it was a lot of breakups and stuff, relationship issues going on, and on Housewives. And Martell was like, I want to keep my wife.
Right.
So anyway, we met with him. And then over the years, we just continued to reach out to Carlos, continuing to sell Huntsville, to sell the Holt brand, showing him what's happening in Huntsville, what's happening with our family dynamic. And, we really pushed the idea. And it doesn't happen overnight all the time. Now we have a show on the Oprah Winfrey Network, and we're so thankful and excited about that. And just thankful for that opportunity. But it took a long time of us staying in contact and pushing what we thought would be a great idea.
And then when we speak about pushing, we hired our own staff to, record us and things of that nature, for us to do like sizzles and things like that. So it was work.
Yeah.
It was work. So like Melody mentioned, it doesn't happen overnight. So we really had to put work in to accomplish the goal. And the goal was to get a show, and we got it.
Well,
mission accomplished, and on to the next thing.
Absolutely. The cool thing about it, you go, okay, Huntsville, Alabama, the birthplace of Alabama. Population, what, about 200,000 population? But then you start digging into Alabama, high tech. The legacy of the space program is out of Alabama, Huntsville, Alabama. A lot of people don't know that. The reason I know that was that when I left IBM in '86 to become a comic on the road, I used to come through Huntsville, Alabama, to perform.
Yeah.
So when I went into that market, it's totally different from any other city in Alabama because of that high tech and the.
I totally agree.
And
we have the number 2 research park in the country.
Second largest research park in the country.
And I'm sure that when you came to Carlos just like anybody else. Huntsville, Alabama. What's going on in Huntsville, Alabama?
You better believe it.
That's why
they come out here and see cows and horses and things of that nature.
And that's it. We have that now. Don't get it twisted. We do have that.
Absolutely.
But that's not it.
Then you got good food too and great barbecue. All that good stuff down there in Huntsville. But that's why he looked into an attractive couple that was modern, that was a go-getter. That's why he wanted. You want to be on Real Housewives of Atlanta. He was trying to pull y'all into Atlanta, not knowing that he hadn't done his research yet. And I'm not saying anything negative because everybody knows what they know. I just happen to know it because, guess what? I was a road comic. I went through all the cities in America telling my jokes. And when I got to Huntsville, Alabama, it opened my eyes because every restaurant chain that you can find in Houston or Dallas was in Huntsville, Alabama. The intellectual crowd was in Alabama. And I realized it all sitting around that high-tech environment that's sitting right there in little old northern Alabama, Huntsville, Alabama. And that's where you two are at. That's awesome. Yes, sir.
That's very true. And that's one of the things, that for us is so awesome is actually, it's easy certain markets to get a show in, like your Atlanta, your LA's, your New York.
Right.
But we're doing something right here in Alabama, and I think that's part of the significance of our program and of our show.
Well, guess what? I'm very happy about the show. I know the finale ended in November, and so I know it's not on right now. But let's talk about the entrepreneurship side of you two, and also the fact that you guys were former school teachers, correct?
That's correct.
Yes.
Yeah, I have a degree in secondary education, English.
Yeah. And I have a degree in special education, and I gave that teaching thing a year and a half.
2 years.
Yeah. It was tough. Let's say that it was tough. It was very challenging, dealing with the kids of today.
Well, let's talk about that because, like, my degree is in mathematics. Okay, my minor's in sociology. I went to school and I was under the thought process that that's where I was supposed to. I don't regret going to college. Hey, I love the fact that I have a math degree, but that doesn't mean that's your final journey. And that's what I love about you guys' story. You are educators, so you're out there shaping minds, and your mind said this is the direction I should go. But what made the twist? What made that turn? Because actually you were working in the environment of your career choice. Why was there a change?
I'll start first and let Martell answer. From my point of view, I don't feel like there's something set for you and that's your only path and that's your only way. People can be versatile, right? I think that for us, even though we were in the classroom, we also ultimately still had that business side to us because you got to keep in mind when we were teaching, we started a lawn care business. We, gained over 50 residential clients that we were cutting lawns after school and on the weekends, running this business, LLC'd it, creating marketing material and things of that nature. We were doing all of that while we were teaching. And then we went on to gain some commercial clients in the lawn care field and cleaning certain offices like dental offices and things like that at night and on the weekends. So though we had degrees in education within us, it was still, when you say, Martell, that business sense and business side to us.
Yeah, I think that Mel and I, we both are entrepreneurs at heart. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the key to a lot of our success right there is no one had to coach us to be entrepreneurs. It was already within. So we're going to do multiple things. So us teaching, it's like we had to do something else. And also we wanted the better lifestyle as well, other than, the $30,000-$40,000 salary that we were getting from teaching. Mm-hmm. And then teaching too, it's not only full time, but it's like overtime. And you don't get paid overtime for being a school teacher.
For grading papers and creating lesson plans.
And also coming out of your pocket to pay for things.
So my heart goes out to teachers right now. Mm-hmm. And I'm hopefully one day Mel and I will be starting a program to assist teachers in I guess, getting better pay, getting better, more money and things of that nature because teachers, they do a lot.
And also come out of their pockets, I was saying, because of the fact that, just because a kid goes to school don't mean they have the proper supplies, Don't mean they have the opportunity to be able to, learn the curriculum because of the fact that you have to come out of your pocket and get some extra paperwork or buy a book, and you tend to start adopting kids, and financially you're not even prepared for that. So you getting out of that space and doing extra work at night. And now I was looking in your bio, it was saying landscaping. That was really, you guys got into landscaping too? Because you guys
Yeah.
are really entrepreneurs. You didn't stay in one area. You say, okay, I see opportunity, let me go. I see opportunity, let me go.
Yeah, and that's us, and that's how it's been. From going from the classroom. A lot of times we say we went from the classroom to the boardroom. Okay, but we decided we went. We started the lawn care business first, landscaping and lawn care business.
Okay, let's stop
Then
right
we
there.
were
Don't
also
say that real
cleaning.
quick. Come on now. Landscape, because I have 5 acres. Okay, so I know when you say landscaping, that's not like, and I also got another home, my home in Houston. It's a regular size yard. So a little man come in, he mow it, he's gone in like about a half hour or an hour. Okay, after he does it.
Yeah.
Now the one in Houston is kind of like, they in Atlanta they kind of like there for a good 6 hours because they got to do all. So that means a team of people had to get involved. So I don't want to like jump so fast and just use the word landscaping. Were you starting out doing small yards, or did you elevate fast into the estate type properties?
No, everything is one step at a time. So we were crawling. So yeah, we were cutting small lawns at first, and then we just continued to grow.
Right.
We started putting flowers on doors, meeting with various people to get their business. So we were planting flowers. We were going to apartment complexes and things of that nature, getting their businesses, and commercial properties as well. So that's how we started really being successful, is going to these commercial properties and taking care of their lawn maintenance year round.
And then what I remember too, it's so important whenever you're trying to go into a new industry or into a new field that you also study what your competitors are already doing. I can still remember when Martell and I first started getting residential clients, and we sat down and I created that flyer on the computer that we were going to pass out. I remember people had been putting, Martell, I don't know if you remember this. This is so interesting. I remember people would put their landscaping cards or lawn care cards in our door asking, pretty much they want your business, right? But you would have to call them. Then they would come out, give you an estimate. Then you would decide if you're going to go with them, all that time span. So I remember us saying, okay, no, we're not going to go that route because that's too much of a time gap in between there. When we put our flyers out, here's what we would do. We would go ahead and write down the amount. There was a blank that we would leave where we would write in the amount that we would charge to cut that person's yard. So when they called us, it was on a call of, I want you guys to take care of our lawn.
That's smart.
So we gained 60 residential clients.
I can't tell you how smart that is. I can't tell you how smart it is. We'll be back with more money-making conversations because what you just said frustrates me because I don't have time. You're in summer yard now. So why we got to talk? Be right back with more money-making conversations with the power couple, Melody and Martell Holt of the Huntsville, Alabama, of the Love and Marriage Huntsville, of the, oh man, they just thrive in money-making conversations. Be right back. Hi, this is Rushion McDonald. You're listening to Money-Making Conversations. On the phone is Melanie and Martell Holt of Huntsville, Alabama, stars of the own series, Love and Marriage Huntsville. We were talking about entrepreneurship. We were talking about being able to transition from where people said that's the path. You got a degree, you got both of you teachers, that's where you should stay. But being able to make that transition, you guys did it kind of simultaneously. You started developing your other option while you was working your full-time option, correct?
Oh, yes, sir. And that's the premise behind our book, The 9 to 5 Entrepreneur. 12 questions to consider before taking the leap, because that's what we were. We were still doing our 9 to 5, but we were still pushing our entrepreneurial side. So that's the premise of the book.
And then one of the key elements to being, I guess, having a 9 to 5 and then looking to go into business, do not give up your 9 to 5 until you've established your business.
Right.
A lot of people go wrong when they do that. Mm-hmm. They leave prematurely, and they wonder why they're failing. It's because you need to establish that base before you take that leap, you know?
Right. I agree. I when I was doing stand-up, I say I was. I'm always going to be a comedian at heart, but I was working at IBM and in college, and I was working there full-time. And, in 84, I was named Showtime's funniest comic in Texas. In 85, I was named Showtime's Funniest Comic in Texas. In 86, I was named Showtime's Funniest Comic in Texas. In 85, I made the finals and lost to Ellen DeGeneres. So, but all that was happening while I was at IBM. And so in 86,
that's what I'm talking about.
you understand? So when I left in 86, I had a brand, and so I hit the road, came through Alabama, Huntsville, told my jokes at the movie theater that was doing comedy at the time way back then. And I just went all over the country just building my brand, moved to New York. So I understand and relate to what you're saying. It's kind of common sense, but people when people get into business, they kind of lose their common sense, don't they?
They do. they do. Because a lot of people, they think it's so simple own your own business.
Right.
When it's just as complicated as having a 9 to 5.
Right. Or they think, I'm going to be my own boss, not realizing, no, you still have someone to answer to. You have clients, that you'll be answering to. You don't just get to come to work when you want to go to work.
And you have to be as disciplined as that 9 to 5 when you have your own business.
I'm going to tell y'all something, man. I love both. You guys, this is the stuff I say on a regular basis, because what I tell people is this, and is that 40-hour week job that you have really is the example you should follow when you leave it. Because you have to ride to work on time. You have to apply yourself during that period. You have to have a function, a plan, that allows you to be functional that day, because people don't keep non-functional people at their jobs. If you're not doing any work, they're going to let you go. So that's saying, people should understand that. So if it's 40 hours you're doing 8 hours a day, take an hour break, do the same thing. And you'll find that will effectively lead you into a world of being a successful entrepreneur. Now, you're not going to work 40 hours a week as an entrepreneur. You're going to work almost 80 hours a week or more, because now it's your passion.
Right.
That's what people don't understand, is that, when you're converting passion to reality means that, you might wake up on Sunday. You might not go to church that Sunday. You might have to go do something.
Right.
You might have to run around, So, but I just love, I love the part of this conversation I'm having with you. You guys have great common sense. That's.
Oh, thank you so much, and thank you. And what you said is so true. I can remember there have been multiple, especially when we first got started, we had to miss certain family birthday celebrations, with cousins or aunties, and certain family trips and family barbecues. Why? Because we were out here working our business, working our ideas, trying to make those things happen. So those were the sacrifices. And you got to keep in mind, when Martell and I started our business, I was 22. Martell was 26. So we were young. So we even, our friends at that time, they were out having fun, having a good time, partying on the weekend, clubbing it up, I'm sure, right?
And we were somewhere being dead tired.
Right. We've been working and grinding, So, but you get to reap the benefits and the harvest of what you've sown. So we're very still thankful, and we don't regret any of those.
Well, I've seen the TV show, and I've seen pictures. You guys got it going on physically. Y'all look good as a couple, and y'all carry yourself. I see you in them tailored suits there, Martell.
All right.
Oh, no, you're messing with the wrong brother now. That's what I do, my man. That's what I do.
There we go.
Because
dress the part too now.
Absolutely, because you got to invest in yourself. But when I say common sense, and it's so exciting, and I want to bring you back because I didn't know anything about the book. If you guys have time in your schedule, please come back and let's break down that book, because I'm excited about promoting that book. I don't know how long it's been out, but everything you guys are saying and referencing in that book is the same common sense mentality that I try to sell to everyday people on Money Making Conversation. Because when you said that
I agree.
Come on, say what you're going to say.
I tell people too, it's not complicated really to be an entrepreneur, to own your own business. It's not magic either, I feel you can get a lot accomplished by a common sense approach,
right?
And dedication and commitment,
right.
And consistency. That consistency, I think, will set you apart from a lot,
Right. I can tell you how many people we have helped or given contracts to, like when we had our lawn care business. And when you see those people are unable to succeed and fulfill the same way you did, it would show us then, like, okay, so it's not just about the contract is in your hand now, but it's about what do you do after you've gotten that business, that piece of business, or that contract. How do you maintain? That's right. How do you maintain it after you've gotten it. And unfortunately, you know, not answering your phone for clients whenever you know that you need to be answering your phone for them, you know, not showing up at the time you tell them you're going to sell, and not giving the same quality throughout the consistency and the same quality throughout the duration can cause you to lose that contract. So we've had contracts, we've had, you know, when we for years, and then I leave the lawn care business. We had a friend who wanted to get in the lawn care business. We gave him our contracts. We said, here you go. Here's your start. Here you go. But he wasn't able to maintain them nearly as long as we kept them.
Because he was handed it. You know, it's something about when you start, you the fear of losing it. Like I said, getting up on Sunday, because you know that's your baby. You know, that's your dream. When you hand people dreams, sometimes they don't know the responsibility that comes with that dream, because they only see the final results. They only see your lifestyle. They only see you showing up in the car, in the tailored suits, the hair cut right, the hair done right, the nails done right, the food on the table looking right. That's what they see. I want that. But they don't know the consequences of keeping that. And that's what you're saying. You gave it to them, or that person, and then next thing you know, oh man, you know, it was cold outside. Oh man, you know, I can't hire the right people. Are you paying them? Are you paying them on time? You know, or what's happening here? Because we were able to do it, and it's really sad because, you know, when you become skeptical and sharing your success, because if they don't do it right, it can affect your brand. It can affect your reputation if you turn it over to somebody who can't deliver.
Definitely.
Oh my goodness, that's why I look at people and go, relatives, when they want to borrow money from me, Martell, they have to sign an agreement. I always tell them, if you go to the bank, what they gonna ask for? So why should I not have the same protection or statement that you owe me this amount of money? Oh, you my brother. Oh, you my cousin. Well, I don't care. Well, I'm just like, this is all I want. And so you have to set standards even in relationships, family, wives, girlfriend, cousin, older brother, parents. You got to have rules. And that's what I keep hearing coming out of this power couple, the Holts, Holt and Holt. Common sense. That's what y'all need to write a book called Common Sense. You guys are incredible. That's your next book. That's your next book, Common Sense. Common Sense.
I love it.
But now, before I get off the phone, we talked about the landscaping. Now, what is Holt Custom Homes? What is that?
Well, you know, earlier how we talked a little bit about one thing can lead to the next, one step at a time, Martell said. So we went from, being teachers to lawn care to cleaning. And then someone told us about this industry called property preservation. So we were doing lawn care and cleaning on HUD homes, foreclosed properties. And then, they started asking us to do small repairs. Right. So we started doing small repairs. Then I still remember when we got our first work order, Martell, I don't know if you remember this, to demolish a property. I'm sure you remember that. And we're like, we never demolished the property, but okay, we're going to do it.
Definitely can do it.
We did it, made that happen. And then we got a work order, I think it was $127,000 is what I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, to demolish and rebuild about 1,200 square foot home in Rimlap, Alabama. And we had never built a home before, but we pulled together the right resources and the right people to do it. And we accomplished that task.
And this was several years ago, too.
Several years ago. And so from there, this was Martell around 2013. Okay. And then from there, we decided, we're going to get our home builder's license and custom build homes.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, we're building these houses for the banks. Yeah. Right. So we definitely can do it ourselves. Right. So we just add that to our check mark.
That's right.
That's awesome, because that's what I talk about is fear. Because there is always an option to be successful. Like you said, go out and find the people who, that's what they do. You find a person who, you're not supposed to pour the concrete. Go find somebody. That's what they do, pour the concrete.
That's right.
That's right. Delegate.
Delegate, but delegate with.
But be over here delegating too much. Don't get him started.
I delegate everything.
Hey, brother, you got to sleep. But I always tell people, I remember when I started with the early years of managing Steve Harvey. I booked the car, I booked the flights, I picked us up, bought all the food when we went out. And then I realized, Rushion, you got to start getting extra people around you. Security, call somebody to book your flights and book your car services. And I started delegating too, Martell. So you need to tell her to be quiet. I know that's your wife and everything. She's beautiful. But she can't interrupt you when you delegate. Delegating is a beautiful thing, my brother.
That's right. It makes you feel so much better.
Make you feel better, look younger. You know what I'm saying? You don't wake up with your back hurting. Delegate that pickup over there. Delegate that. Go do something for me. Just delegating is the way to go.
All.
So whatever you say, Miss Holt, I can't join you on that. He can delegate all he wants. Now, I'm sure you're a delegator too, aren't you? Because I can hear you talk.
Yeah.
You almost wanted to tell me something to do a couple of times during this interview. Because I know you tell people what to do on a regular basis. You're 22. You're
I
26.
I delegate, but not as much as Martell. You know, I do believe in balance.
Oh.
And I think that a lot of times, you know, whenever we are with someone, it's great whenever you can, you know, they kind of, your yin to your yang, they offer
Melody,
that balance to you.
You're not going to fool me with this church voice. Martell, I don't know how you handle it, brother. You know, you was 4 years older. You just a patient brother. With that church voice, you start getting in an argument with you, going to pull out that praise the Lord voice on you. You don't know what to do. You know, you're going to go
already
around.
know, don't you?
I know, man. Dude, I'm up here talking about, she'll throw out that little sweet Alabama voice on you, but I know she's a cutthroat in negotiation. All that. Because I know.
You can listen to her and tell that.
I'm gonna just tell you this. Now, you was probably when that opportunity to demolish that home and rebuild it, you were thinking about it, wasn't you, Martell? She had already started planning it. Why can't we do it? Well, baby, let's what?
That's right.
Right. She had already had plans on the kitchen table, everything. You going because we as men, we think things out. We think of the women go, why can't we? And then it forces us to be in a position to go, yes, we can. So it's a good power couple relationship. So whenever one is thinking that they can't do it, the other is pushing them out the door. If everyone is saying the car can't start, the other one's got the hood up. Why can't it start? Let's make it start. And that's why I love about this phone call, because your next book, I'm just telling you, Hope family, Common Sense. And if you have time in 2020, I want to bring you back on my show. And if you ever come up to Atlanta, I'd love for you to come in studio and sit down and let's talk about the common sense of what you
we can
guys
be there
are doing.
next week whenever you want us.
Oh, yeah, we come to Atlanta often.
Well, good, because we're going to get you back on the show, because next week I'll be in NAPTY, because I'll be marketing my show for fall distribution of money-making conversation on network television. So, my friends,
Awesome.
know that we're in a position to win. Know we're in a position to be special. But more importantly, thank you for spending the time with me the last 30 minutes on this show and share nuggets of information, common sense information, all the way from Huntsville, Alabama. Thank you, teammates. I appreciate you. We talk soon.